Welcome back to the Best Small Business Show. BJ's in the house.
Good. Good to be here, Rich, who terrorizes me before we get on. Thank you so much. My coffee is strong. Unfortunately, it's in the other room. I'm going to get it. Don't worry.
Yeah, owners tell me their team stopped bringing ideas years ago.
Oh, yeah.
They expect the owner to come up with all these ideas. They ask for input, they get silence, then decide alone anyway. Their team never gives them any ideas.
Yeah. Everybody just stares at them, which is not a good thing, right? What the good news is that the system can be fixed. So no worries there. Oh my gosh. Rich, let's set the scene. What's actually happening inside these companies? This is funny because both you and I experienced this, and we both were like, oh my God, we got to talk about it.
Well, owners think creativity is a hiring problem. They always think I got to hire, smart idea people. But it's more of a permission problem. You don't recruit idea people. You stop punishing the ones you have, because the ones you have great ideas. They just aren't telling you that.
Yeah. And we want to just share with you the 4 points why they went silent and how to ask, how to answer, and how to aim. This is the best thing to do for your team going into Q3, Q4.
So number 1, silence isn't a talent problem. Okay. Your people stop pitching because pitching costs them something. Now, this is an interesting psychological experiment.
But what do you mean by that? That costs them what? Time, ego? Be specific, Rich. I'm just saying, you can't just you're talking about millennials and Gen X's and all these different people. What do you mean by that?
Well, let's use an example. Their last idea was ignored. Okay. Oops. They came up with this great idea. It was ignored. Or they came up with this great idea and then they got more unpaid work. Oh, okay. If that's your idea, you go do it.
Okay. So just piled it on. That was a concern. The reward for a good idea is owning it forever. That's the most important thing, is that, that was John's idea, and it can be extremely rewarding.
Yeah, exactly. The trade nobody puts in writing, but everyone learns. So an action step for this is, we want you to ask 3 people this week what idea they buried. They have good ideas. They're in there. They just haven't voiced them. So let me give you an example. I was working with a 30-person plumbing company outside of Hartford, Connecticut. The dispatcher has proposed a routing change 18 months earlier. Okay.
Oh my God.
And we got it out while we were talking.
Yeah.
He got no reply and never spoke up again.
Ouch.
So I had the owner sit with the 9 employees one at a time and ask each one the same question. What's something you suggested that went nowhere? Okay. Guess what? He got 7 answers in 5 days. 2 of them were live within a month. One, this is a great one. One cut his fuel costs by roughly $1,900 a month.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Can you even believe it? It's your people, guys. These are your people. Unbelievable. And you remember me talking about this. So sorry, Rich, but we had picked up a regional food brand. We do a ton of packaging, and it just felt tired, right? And their junior designer had pitched a redesign 2 years before we ever showed up, right? So I'm going searching around, getting used to the new files, and I see this shared drive, this folder that nobody opened. We pulled it out. Oh my God, it was this incredible, great idea. We tightened it up and then shipped it. The idea was already in the building. What was missing was anyone who would just say yes or no about it.
Yeah. Well, that's usually it, there's usually stuff just sitting around the office that you can access, but it's just it gets lost in the mix.
Yeah.
So number two, the brainstorm is where ideas go to die. Okay, this is my idea. Kill the big
Yes.
brainstorming meeting. It always rewards the loudest voice. And you get that loud person in there, just yeah, 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 yeah. Cut the meeting.
Yeah. But Rich, I got to push back a little bit there because the room creates the collision,
Yeah.
and I think that when people are in the room, if they're good, and they're like thinking, there's going to be things that happen. So talk to me about that.
Well, I understand collision, sure.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
your quiet people hand you nothing on demand. The quiet people in the room never get to talk.
Yeah. Yeah. And but you know what? So brief them, 2 days earlier. Don't just throw them in the room with the rest of them. Don't scrap the room just
Mhm.
because they're quiet. It's just they're introverts. Boop, there you go. Give them a little bit of a heads up.
So what I could do is maybe meet with them beforehand, and then during the meeting, when the loud people, the blah 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 people are talking, I go, you know what? Susan had a great idea. Susan, why don't you tell us about your idea? And
Yes,
I kind of bring it out. That's very
right.
fair. That's fair. The prep is what I'm actually after, not the funeral. Okay, not the
All
funeral.
righty then. Then we agree. Then we agree. The meeting isn't the problem. The ambush
Yes.
was the problem.
So
Oh my God.
I have to do a little pre-work beforehand. So you guys need to do a little pre-work. So what's our action step?
Send the question 48 hours early. Okay. Collect written answers first.
Yeah.
So the whole idea is that don't make that meeting stark white piece of paper, no ideas. Give
Mhm.
them a little bit of a heads up as what you're going to be talking about. I've got a great example for this. We used to have these creative kickoffs. They were called like everybody literally, oh, we got that account. And we'd all, get in the big conference room, got all the drinks and food, and the whiteboard's up. The same three people talked every single time.
Yeah.
Now we send out the one question by email two days earlier, right? And we ask for a written reply before everybody walks in. Same team, same hour, roughly triple the number of distinct concepts on the wall. The introverts weren't short on ideas. They weren't. They were so creative. They just were shorter runway. They needed a little bit more time.
Yeah, that reminds me. You're actually really right. I worked with this 40-person insurance agency. They were like brokers
Yeah.
that had a no agenda, just talk Friday meeting.
Ouch.
I made him send one specific question every Wednesday. Where did we lose a client this month and why? Isn't that a great question?
Oh, wow.
Where did we lose a client and why did we lose the client? Written answers due by Thursday noon. Guess what? His account manager wrote 4 sentences that exposed a renewal gap costing them 11 accounts a year.
Oh my
She'd known
gosh.
about it for 2 years, but had never been asked about it.
Oh my gosh. I cannot even believe time can go on like that and somebody doesn't speak up.
Well, stay with us. We'll tell you how to work with us shortly. BJ, what's our third number?
The third is close the loop or lose the loop. Okay. Every idea needs an answer. Yes, no, not yet. Okay. And I know as a business owner, I get stuck in this too. I am totally a bottleneck when things can happen like this. So, Rich, what do you think?
Yeah, yeah. My parents used to say, "Yeah, not today, not today," all the time. No, but silence is an answer too. It says, "Don't bother next time." It's
Oh,
telegraphing a negative feeling to your team that you don't want to have happen.
yeah. And you know what? Track the ideas you like to track leads. Okay. This is something like, the status, the owner, the date, the
Mhm.
decision. I gotta tell you, you do that, and all of a sudden you're gonna say, "Ooh, I always do that to Susan."
Yeah.
And yeah, it could be a real problem.
The other thing is, if you have to tell them no, tell them why. Because
Yeah.
no is fine. No is fine. No, that's not a good idea. It's not a good idea at this time, or it's not a good idea financially, because they might not have thought of all the permutations. Yes, they just think it's a great idea, but the mystery isn't. So you need to tell them right up front, no, that's really not a good idea, and here's the reason why.
Mhm. And also give yourself some grace.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to say, I'm not in a good headspace to make this decision.
Hmm.
Could we follow up tomorrow morning fresh and early? And I will have had time to read it.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, people are like, "Yep, great, perfect," and they've moved it over to the right spot. But you didn't go wishy washy on them. You gave
Yeah.
them a reason, which I think, and people will take no, right, Rich? I mean,
Yeah, I've gotten a
they
lot of
will.
no's.
Yeah, they won't. They just don't want to take getting ignored.
Yeah.
They just don't want to be ignored. So get some action in there, Rich.
Build a one-page idea log. Track these things. Review it every Friday with your team out loud. Okay, here are the ideas that we've gotten. I had to say no to some of these, but some of these were really good. So let's talk more about these. So I have a great example that I ran into. I had a client that had 3 dental practices. Okay,
Oh my
they
gosh.
started growing. She was getting maybe one suggestion a month, okay, from 31 days. She built a team sheet. She built this sheet, idea, who raised it, the decision, and the date that they entered it. She reviewed it every Friday at 4 o'clock and reads the decisions aloud on a team call, including the no's. You know,
Put fancy toilet paper in the bathroom.
Oil flavored toothpaste. No, that's a
No, no.
no. Okay. Two-handed toothbrushes. No, that's a no. Okay. But guess what? 14 ideas came out in the first 6 weeks. She killed
Wow.
9 of them publicly and explained why. And the flow didn't slow down at all. But she started getting ideas from all of her hygienists and the receptionists and everybody that's there started getting everything.
And you know what? I love that she interacted with the people that way.
Yeah.
We do this internally at New Renew with client work. Every idea doesn't really, isn't perfect for a specific client, right?
Hmm.
And one of the things that we love to do is we take the idea, we put it into the idea file, we're aware of it, right? But it might be perfect for another client.
Yeah.
And that transfer of idea is so great. We're not starting at ground zero
Hmm.
with the idea. We're starting and we're just reopening it and saying, oh, that's going to be excellent for them.
Yeah.
This happens a lot in web design. One person didn't like the expandable thing we built. Not a problem. We
Yeah.
just store it, bring it back in, and we can use it again. So no idea goes away. We really, really love it. So let me take you to number 4. Constraints beat blank pages. Oh my gosh. This is a Rich G original idea in coaching. Okay, guys? Nobody creates anything useful staring at an empty whiteboard.
I say this all the time. You give a person a white sheet of paper, they're going to stare at it and go, I have no idea where to start. So,
Right.
what you need to do is, I call it giving them a box. Okay. Give them some parameters. Like say to them, okay, 5 grand to the first person, 30 days. We need to go after this one customer. This is my dream customer. We get this customer, the first person that brings them in gets 5 grand.
I I absolutely love that because the constraints tell the people which problem you actually care about.
Yeah.
You've given them the parameter and it's like a feeding frenzy. They
Yeah.
just like go for it.
But I don't want you to go willy-nilly and have 20 business development people going after the same customer. Hello.
Yeah.
They need to develop a strategy, okay? And they filter these fantasy ideas before anyone wastes a month.
Wow. Well, they teamwork it.
Yeah.
So that way, it's great. Saying something like any ideas is the latest question. And
how many bosses have you worked with that goes, any ideas?
Any
Is
ideas?
there any ideas that we can come up with? It's just like
Bueller.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It's just like
it's like ridiculous. A great action step for that is to frame each ask with a budget, a deadline, a target client. In this type of a case would be perfect because you've given them those parameters that somebody can work within, and they feel energized, just is so excited, ready to get going. Let me give you an example. A client asked us for some fresh thinking about their brand. Always dangerous, I might say. They gave us a useless brief. Sorry, I'm not naming client.
There you go.
Yes. We decided to rewrite the brief ourselves. One product line, 15,000, 6 weeks, aimed to buyers of 14 to 60 based on, what our demo was, that bought once, but never returned. Our team came up with 11 concepts in 9 days. Same people who stalled out on the old open question type of idea.
Yeah.
It was absolutely 9 days. And also they were so energized. They'd been asked.
It's kind of like you water them with a little Miracle-Gro, and then suddenly things start popping all over the place. I had this manufacturing client, and he asked his team for just some basic cost-saving ideas. Hey, look, I need to save some money around here. Crickets for 2 months. Because nobody wants any kind of cuts anywhere.
No.
So I rewrote his ask. Okay. Find me $5,000 in waste. I like that figure. $5,000 in waste on the second shift by October 15th. Okay.
Yep.
Guess what? He got 6 submissions in 11 days from guys who never emailed him, talked to him before. The winning idea was a pallet staging area from a forklift operator who was there for 19 years, but never gave an idea.
I've got tingles, Rich. That is absolutely amazing. Being specific, right? Giving them a tight parameter really got those answers in. That's pretty incredible.
Well, your team already has the ideas. They have them all the time. You've been collecting them the wrong way.
Ask specifically, answer every time, and give them a box to work in.
Well, this podcast is sponsored by New Renew Brand Marketing, a full-service brand marketing agency building strong brands with clarity and vision. Their clients are reaching their potential with innovative messaging, results-driven AI research and analytics, with their audiences front and center. Reach out to BJ Flagg at New Renew today.
This podcast is also sponsored by Rich G Business Coaching. Most business owners have a team that quietly stop bringing them ideas. Rich helps you build the cadence that gets your people talking again and gets those ideas into business. Spend 20 minutes with Rich. He brings you 2 decades of solutions for you and your team. Go to richg.com to sign up. So all I can tell you is better people, better business, and better life.
Absolutely. And thank you to our producer, Richard Scalzo, for making us sound great. And thanks for tuning in to the Best Small Business Show.